All right, man. Welcome back to the channel after 2 months of being extremely busy. I'm your boy Dre, and yes, the channel is still here. Capital G, capital O, capital D. Thank you for waking me up today. Bless me with another day. Family, kids, everybody safe. Hope all is well. Big up D-Champ. So, little disclaimer, never really had a chance to get the face cam all together, so hopefully it acts right today, but if not, we will be definitely switching this thing up. Additionally, we're going to be taking this Piaggio Avanti P-180 from hopefully Gillespie Field here in San Diego on the west coast of the United States all the way to the east coast. Maybe not all today, but we'll at least looking to get 2 legs in. The scheduled legs to get us cross country, obviously we're making post haste to try to get to Providence, Rhode Island in this thing. First legs, which we'll be doing today, will be Gillespie Field to Tucson, then Tucson to Amarillo, Texas. Then the next legs will be Amarillo, Texas to Paducah, Kentucky. Then Paducah, Kentucky to Akron, Ohio. Then Akron, Ohio into Providence, Rhode Island. Those other trips may happen on another day, not even promising tomorrow. I'm supposed to take the kids swimming. They're out of school, been busy, but we'll see what we get cracking here. We do have ATC online, so without further ado, let's get in here. These flights should be rather simple. And we will see how the day treats us. We're in Microsoft 2024, of course, so hopefully all is well in the sim. Let's jump on board to a cold and dark cockpit, and we are 100% going to let's get chocks off, instrument covers off, and engine covers off. And we are, it says disable engine damage. No, we want engine damage. If we don't do the right thing, we'll leave auto steering there. And of course, let us get the GPU going here. All right, GPU is going, folks. All right, we'll come down here and everything's looking good. Let's go ahead and pop off the trusty, dusty, and rusty track IR lock, or head tracking, if you will. So who we got here? Data's in the house. Yo, what's up, my G? How are you doing? Long time no see, fam. Hope you're doing well. For sure, it's been a minute. Just been super busy. A lot of changes around the house, but you know how it goes. I'm still here, guys. Trying to get this thing to unlock. That's the only thing I don't like about Microsoft 2024 is the unlock happens a little strange. Okay, so we got ground power on, my G's. Let's go ahead and officially activate the battery, and we can get our avionics all the way on. You're going to see the aircraft start aligning here. You're going to see the PFD and the MFD, as well as the first officer side doing a few things. Yes, sir. That is the plan, Data, to be there, my G. Okay, we got our position light on here. We'll leave seatbelt off for now, and you know what? Let's quiet this thing down here. There we go. We'll get into some more music once we get airborne, potentially. So as we align here, we also want to come down here to the flight management system here and go to our position initialization. You simply do that here. Normally you would put it in here. These keys are not modeled. As far as the airport, there's no need to do that. We're going to come right here, guys, though, and put our origin. Get it all squared away. Then we'll get on to the ATC, because I'm sure they're going to be giving us departure out of here that is not part of the flight plan. So let's execute that for now. And now let's come here and start working our Navigraph situation here. The typical runway to leave here out of Gillespie Field here in San Diego is runway 27 right, so we're going to plan that accordingly. The winds are always copacetic of that. So as you can see here, we are on pretty much the east ramp, east transient parking. Here we are, we're already facing west, so we're going to make a turn to the north, back to the east, pick up Delta 7, Delta 8, and take off there. Our departures that we have out of Gillespie Field, more than likely we're going to get, I'm assuming we're going to get the Padres too, but we won't in the least assume what we're going to get. So let's come down here, guys, and before we get on and popping, let's get this situation cracking. I'm going off of memory for SoCal. I think they're on, so let's give this here a go. The 28.5.
Access 645, turn running 240, join the localizer.
Right 240, join the localizer, exit 635.
Alright, so let's get our pin here and our information for a good flight here. And
SoCal approach, Scout
we will go from there.
Cover taxi to South Ramp via Alpha 4, Alpha 3.
Scout 39 over taxi to parking by Alpha 4, Alpha 3.
Hover taxi to via Alpha 4, Alpha 3 to South Ramp, Scout 39, thanks.
Local departure November 318 Delta Sierra is a Piaggio Avanti here at Gillespie Field looking for IFR to Tucson.
310 Delta, number 318 Delta Sierra, still got departure clearance on request. Jet 645, 6 off from Ebo, maintain 3,800 until establishment localizer, could localizer runway 27 approach.
I cleared my head is 3,800.
So like I said, he's probably going to give us
Delta 2572, kilometer airspace, LA Center's closed,
departure. Let's see what that looks like. And I'm lying. I don't think it would be that one. If anything, it might be this C word.
Delta 2572, climbing out of airspace, Los Angeles Center is closed. Radar service is terminated. Frequency change approved. Good day.
Let's see. Or maybe it's the Mission Bay departure that they gave us last time.
Jet 645, runway 27, clear to land.
Okay, I think it's the Mission Bay 2 departure that we'll pick up. We'll see what he says. We filed 17,000, so we'll be doing 17,000.
318 Delta Sierra, clearance available, advise you to copy.
November 318 Delta Sierra, ready to copy.
319 Delta Sierra, Coda, the Tucson Airport, radar vectors, Mission Bay, then direct, maintain 4,000, expect 17,000, 5 minutes after departure. Departure frequency 128.05, squawk 761
Okay, we're cleared to Tucson via radar vectors, Mission Bay. Then, as filed, we'll be climbing, maintaining 4,000, expecting one flight level or 17,000. 10 minutes after departure. Departure is with you, and we'll be squawking 76138 Delta Sierra.
8 Delta Sierra, that's readback Craig. Sorry if I said then direct. After Mission Bay, it's then as filed. Readback Craig, advisory for taxi.
Okay, after Mission Bay, then it's filed, and we'll be calling for taxi for 8 Delta Sierra. Thanks a lot.
Lufthansa 451 Aviation up to dock.
All right,
25,
so cool. We're not even doing the C word. Say less, my G's. We can just go and get this thing on and pop it.
451 Aviation up to Docker, runway 25, right,
here
take off.
Flight plan. We're still going to put our departure runway here, which we're going to go
Captain 338 Heavy Conic, Limburg, ground 123,
right as promised. Over to ground for execute that. Have a good day. Not doing any of that.
Then we can come right
here into flight plan here and start putting in what we need. So we're doing Mission Bay, of course, which is Mike Zulu Bravo. And then from Mission Bay, we are going to pick up, let me see, I'm going to pause this thing. Hopefully it pauses right on time so I don't have to keep wiggling you guys around, man. And you guys get the brain damage. So we are going to be picking up a low airway, since we're flying under flight level. We're going to be picking up Tango 326. We're going to exit that airway at Imperial, so IPL. And then from there, we're going to pick up another... This one's actually a jetway. And we'll pick up Juliet 18. And then we'll exit that. I believe that's Gibbons.
So, approach Camelot 6 for rate taxi northbound.
Stand by.
We'll execute that on our arrival into Tucson. Now this is all inaccurate. You guys can see there's no departures and there's no stars or SIDS, which is incorrect for Tucson. But for whatever reason, there's a disconnect in the graph information. So if we're coming in, we're going to actually take 29 right. 29 left does not exist. That's a taxiway. Now you guys will see exactly what I'm talking about. And again, it's saying no stars, but that's 100% incorrect. So we're going to have to come here. Because it does have us arriving on the name of the star is the Dingo 6. So let's,
maintain level 230.
Oops, let's pull it up here quick. That is the only one gripe that I would have about this having an onboard navigation charting system would be the fact that you can't pin them, you only get this one, you gotta switch them all, but that's just me complaining, so don't worry about that. Okay, here's the Dingo 6 arrival. So if we're coming in Dingo 6, And I said Gibbons, but
Exit
it's Gillibend.
645, or correction,
Now we
sorry
need
about that.
to
JetBlue
add these in.
714,
So we'll
runway
add
27,
the
clear to land.
Stanfield
Runway 27, clear to land, JetBlue 714.
VOR. So 29 right, execute that. Now we're going to go to the legs so we can add this in. Boom. So after that, we can start putting it in, so it's kind of convenient. So there's Gillibend, TFD, then Baser. Okay, there's TFD. We're going to put Baser in here. And from Baser,
Exit 645, do you want to jump the ground?
Exit 645, welcome to San
Dingo.
Diego Taxi, departing by, or correction,
From
contact
Baser,
Lindbergh
we
ground
need
123
Dingo.
planner, good day.
Hey, 123.9, thanks for help. Extension 665, bye-bye.
Baser, then Dingo, and then Mava. Okay, Dingo, it's definitely not this. It's definitely this because of the Latin long. So let's go and make sure that's getting put in at the correct area, which it is. And then lastly, guys, we're going to go, I believe it's Mike Alpha Alpha. I believe it's this. If it gives me something. A facility not found. Okay, cool. Apparently it wasn't that. Maybe it's MAVAA. Oh, it's MAVVA. My bad. My bad. All right. Bada bing, bada boom. Mava. Now let's go back to that departure and arrival. Departures. Boom. Let's go back to Tucson arrival. Because I definitely don't think. And it's just 29 right. There's like literally nothing there. Which is again. The stuff we really need in there for the approach is going to be here, and this is so far the only let's see, we'll do the Zulu R nav 30 on the Zulu. So from Dingo,
aerospace, the light center is closed, radar services terminated, forget to change
so
crew,
here's the funny thing: if we have air traffic control, we'll have to follow the route to Mava. But if it's up to our own devices,
so that's a 451.
we're gonna go Dingo, Ugete. We're gonna have to put all these in for the RNAV. So let's put UGETE in there. Okay, yeah, let's go back to legs. So hypothetically speaking, after Mava would be Ugete. It's almost like Juguete in Spanish, but it's not. It's missing the J. So we'll come here. And let's keep rocking this. And then we'll go Ivre Waxes. Okay, we got Waxes, then our turn to finals at Atog, and then Saxy. Still can be done, it's just more cumbersome, more workload to do it this way. Okay, at least we've got the field elevation, which is saying it's 4202. So let's take a look at field elevation here quick. But before we do that, let's get some 62 and 45. let's see. Okay, we got that. And then we got Saxy is at 45. And then we'll get the weather, and if anything changes, we'll change all this up in the air. No big deal. And finally, for our initial, let's make sure Mava, this was supposed to be at 8. Which that'll give us a nice little...
SoCal Camelot 6 for 1A at North Island.
descent
Camelot 6
profile.
on course departure
See, Mava
approved,
at
runway
8.
18 clear for takeoff.
On course departure
So
approved,
technically, there's
go for
Mava,
1.
but from Dingo, we're essentially going to come a little bit further down. So Mava is definitely above 8. Now, if we want to look at the approach and just surmise on this Zulu here, so getting from Dingo, look, there's 8. So 8 to Ugete, and then after Ugete, we can go 7. So either way, around that area, we should be good to go to 8. And you can see there's a hold there to make sure you get to 8 right here, if need be, before you get to Ugete, and start your descent to 7,000 across Waxas at 7,000. So in the event that we, for whatever reason, get a little off because of ATC and getting vectored if we need to, we'll put that there as well. Now we can execute that, and guys, we'll have good top of descent. The descent will be based off of Mava at 8,000. The rest will be good to go. Let's go ahead and get our performance in. We'll go performance initialization. We've got 6 passengers on here. We're going to be cruising at 17,000. Chop it to the air.
Camelot 6, verify squawk normal.
There we go.
Fucking normal.
And 6, there's the sensed fuel, right at 1902, which is good. Now let's go ahead and jump in this weather here, my G's, and see what we got, man. Gonna use the
Camelot
climb
6,
here.
at our contact, proceed on course, maintain VFR.
Busy on course, maintain VFR, Camelot 6.
All right. So winds here are variable at 6 knots. So when they're variable,
Circle approach,
no
United
problem.
2617.
At 2617, SoCal.
Hey, 2617, are you controlling Palm
altimeter
Springs?
is 29901.
At 2617, affirm.
Alright, well in that case,
Okay,
descending
and
via
the temperature
the
is
Bono
27
1,
degrees Celsius.
passing 13.5. We're configure for the 13 right.
2617, SoCal, approach. I want to be closing in 5 minutes, just monitor advisory.
Okay, so
See, that's invalid. So what we'll do is we will literally it's variable, so you know what?
Camelot 6, SoCal approach closing, radar service turn, appreciation for the readout.
No problem of the Unicom for Camelot 6. Thank you, goodbye.
All right, and we'll send
Attention
it.
aircraft on this frequency, SoCal approach is now closed. All aircraft on this frequency, monitor advisory frequencies or Unicom. Have a nice day,
All
guys. See ya.
My man said he was going to be on 5 more minutes and got off quick, but it's all good. Now we can be to our own devices. So now, lastly but not leastly, we need to jump on this CTAF here and see. I could have probably looked at the chart. 1207 is the field frequency for Gillespie Field. Just throw that in there. Switch that over. We have no ATIS. Let's get in the second comms once we get airborne, just in case we got somebody on boom boom room. We'll check it out, man. And then we're out of here. Bada bing, bada boom. Our squawk code for this flight is 761 3. All right, 7613. I believe we are good to go, man. Let's check you guys out here just to make sure I'm being copacetic. All right, man. Everybody is doing good here. All right. So let's get this first flight on and popping. We got no ATC. All right, doors are closed. Let's make sure of that. We got box lunch. In case you guys were wondering what we are looking like in the back. We got our executive situation set up here. All right, let's try to take this track IR off. You guys can see all the window shades are open, looking good. Doors closed and locked, of course. Passengers are on. The GPU is literally on the left side of the aircraft, so if we come outside, we'll see it's on the left side, so we're going to be starting the right engine first. Parking brake is set. Everything is looking good. Let's get some flight controls on for you, man. Alright, let's go ahead and start this thing up. So let's get our anti-collision light on, fasten seatbelt can come on, and before we do anything, let's go ahead and set our pressurization right at about 4,300 feet. That will pressurize right there. That's going to be good. All right, guys, calling clear on the right side. Let's go ahead and open our fuel valve and turn on the right pump to the main position. And we're going to be looking for at least 13 on the torque up there. All right. All right, it's a beautiful thing. What we're going to do now, so we can get rid of that generator, we're going to go to flight idle. All right, let's get rid of that. Then what we're going to do immediately is reset our right generator to on and get that oil cooler tank on so it will not 100% overheat, because it will. All right, we got our hydraulics on. We're good to start the second engine. Let's get the valve open, turn on the pump, and get that ignition. There's 13 NG. I said torque earlier, but it's NG, so we'll go into ground idle for that start. And technically, we should have got rid of this GPU, but we have now. All right, now that that is done, folks, let's continue the process here. We're going to reset left generator, get it on, and now we're going to bring the right prop to flight idle or ground idle. Let's get our bleeds on. We can get our pidotes or stalls on. And see, we'll get our windshield heater on low, so when we get up to altitude, let's get our auto feather on. And of course, let's go ahead and set flaps for takeoff. And let's trim it up. Okay, flaps are indicating, of course, and selected to mid. Perfect. All right. Go ahead and perform our flight controls check. Full up, full down, aileron left, aileron right, neutral, and rudder right, rudder left, and toe tap. Brake is on. That's good. All right, now let's start setting up some of our logic here. Don't forget, guys, we're going up to 17,000 feet. So the guy's gonna give us vectors to Morro Bay, or to Mission Bay rather, but see, what is the runway heading here? Runway heading is 269. All right, and we will 100% go for heading mode to start with. And vertical speed will get up to right about 2,000, my G's. Now, let's go back here. Now that whole boy got off, we can also do put our squawk code. Let's go to departure here, and we're gonna actually do the Mission Bay departure. Same runway. Let's go look at legs. Okay, there's the intersection, PGY, cool. So now we can do that, and we'll do the nav mode up here, arm that, and of course now we need to set our altimeters up here, even though we did it in the MFD. Let's look at our references. First of all, let's make sure all nav are FMS, 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 bet. And yeah, everything else is looking good, man. You can see our little departure. We're going to come off. We're going to circle back around. Pick that up. Go up to hell and head up to our Mission Bay. So if you look at the SID here, let's look at the... Oops. Let's look at the Mission Bay 2 again. So we're going to leave, of course, departing the field. We're immediately going to take a right, a climbing right turn heading in 062. Then we're going to pick up the, what looks to be the inbound 168 to the PGY VOR. And then once we get here off the inbound radial 256 to Mission Bay, we'll take a right turn, head direct to Mission Bay, and then we'll be off onto our regularly scheduled route there. So maybe some of it we'll do some vectors here. In the meantime, we're ready to go, guys. Let's go ahead and get landing lights on. We'll turn the recognition lights on, and we are ready to go. And let's make sure we're tuned in correctly here. We can check here. Yep, 1207. Gillespie Field, November 318 Delta Sierra is on the East Transient parking. We'll be taxiing to runway 27 right via Delta 7, Delta 8 for departure on the Padres 2, climbing unrestricted 17,000 for Gillespie Field. All right, LNAV heading, boom, boom, boom. That looks good. Bada bing, bada boom. We are ready to go. Let's go outside and do a fit check. I think she's ready, y'all. Let me check you guys out. Let me see what we got cracking here. Hey, James Johnson in the house so far. Summer break, that's right. Hey, what's good, House? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. James says, what's up, man? He's here. How's the family? It's been a while since he's seen me stream. Of course, it's been 2 months. He said I was hiding. Nada, papá, nada más. Muchas cosas estaban pasando en mi vida con mi familia. So, familia primero, ya tú sabes. Entonces, todo ando bien. So, it's good to see everybody here, man. Let's take off. And I appreciate you, James, Owls, Data, and D-Champ for checking in, fam bammers. Let's roll. Excuse me. All right, we're coming off the parking break here. Bye, y'all.